Alright, that'll hold me till I get tanks and can do something else egregious that insults sanity. So yeah, that works for the next 6 hours. And then it's such a thing that it works because I can go in here and look at this and say, I don't need you to work on that job. But once you get through these couple hundred I want, could really use about 20 of those. And then, yeah, just give me 50 of those boilers when you have the chance. Why don't ya? I'll just put those in there so they can work. And yeah, this works on upgrade order, so we're gonna go for 200 of those immediately following construction here. And what's our memory cell at? 15? So yeah, it'll take a while, and that's just unfortunate. And that's lazy. Move faster. And this one is going to be doing train things for a second. I just have a feeling now's the time to do it. And let's go for 16. How many engine units is that going to be again? 20 engines per loco? Yeah, we'll set that down to 2. And then I'll just direct build some stuff. Alright. That's pretty okay. Now I need lights. No. But not sticks, lights. This is to make it so I can always look over this section in particular and have a heart attack. It's key, mission critical to do it like that. Are these... No, that will preempt it and make me sad, so... That's the extent of the action for now. Okay, got those 42 up, that's good. And in theory, I should be doing ammo, but in practice, It's just a thing. Okay. So now I need to have a military-industrial complex? Yeah, I think I need one of those. I never get to have nice things like that. And this is going to be used to make a super-duper low rate of military science, because... who said I was here to be, like, blowing things up? Okay, and since the walls are on that line, they gotta go this way too. So that'll be fun. Red ammo's an odd one, because I do need it in theory, but I don't need it in practice. There's somebody out there who's like doing Death World games who's gonna super duper need that, and you should super duper seriously consider having it. Okay, and then I'll want steel coming in like so. But for my purposes, we're gonna try and follow the way of the pacifist, where we're all peaceful and we all get along, and if you disagree with that sentiment, I'm gonna hit you with a tank. That's how it works, right? And this will go down this way to become part of this super duper necessary assembly line that I'm gonna put like a drill, maybe 2 on. Ah! No, it likes to give me mixed stuff. Oh well. I'll have to do it like this for a while till it eats up all the other coal, and I have no choice. About 1,000 rounds of that, about 400 rounds of that. Because again, we're following the way of pacifism here. Or pacifistum. I don't know how it works. And I don't need that one, so... think. This one an even smaller amount, because I tend not to need grenades. I'm going to just have a little production line of military science hanging out here. So, military science is really funny, because this is a game about building factories, so this feels totally irrelevant to do when you do it. But if you don't do this, you won't have the damage bonuses to perform factory maintenance against the biters. And that maintenance task is part of this story. Okay, and then keep that going. Right. Now those grenades obviously serve a super important function. They let me blow up those trees. God, it's painful to say that that is honestly what I use them for. Okay, this is gonna come up, and then that out of the way, split it in half, and let's make one so I get it done. On to the next thing. So a bunch of silly and basic upgrades now. This is going to be the next order of the day, because otherwise those are pretty easy to miss. Solar panels are an important pickup technology too, just to have them. Landfill's good. It'll all be useful eventually, right? Okay, and are we all functioning? Yeah, all 6 of them. Since that is piling up, do I try and get another one? Yeah, why not? I walked all that way just to put that down, but now that will let me do a super optimal amount of military science. And you can see this is already doing pretty good on bricks, too, although my brick operation can be improved for the sake of all things. But look, that's already running out. Good! Get rid of it. Less awkward drill placement, I can put something in that real estate. This initial investment should be able to buy you a combat operation that's going to get you more stuff. And then the real estate is going to be what you can expand into once you clean up the mine. Let's see. It's like a full belt of steel going off, I think. No, that's an item and a half of steel. I think that's more than I need. But yeah, no, you should be able to solve these resource issues. And just be very patient and look at things in the game's encyclopedia to give yourself real expectations. That's my best advice. You're not freaking out about this stuff and going like, how do I do this? It's like, look at real things. Look at your inventory. Get familiar with your inventory. That's how you not psych yourself out. Okay, boom, boom, boom. What's the next thing that I need? A stack of miniguns, if you please. On that side, doing very well there. What are we missing here? Good quantities of steel. So that just got fixed. Okay, and now that's done. So that's a permanently done one. Since my end goal is ultimately to launch a rocket, do have to make a judgment call on this, and there are so few biters on this map that I think this is the way to go with it. Get my concrete rolling here. And this ultimately is what this is going to be for. Okay. It's like, yep, it's just that simple. You have to do it at least once to justify it to yourself. To be like, this is all I need. So that means running some games and just very patiently figuring out, this is all I need. Okay, now we're going to shift this up. And then we're going to establish a wood box station here. Because I don't need giant inventories. I need to save steel right now for a rocket silo. And I've got all of these pieces of wood in my inventory. And then I have that need for grenades, right? And all of these grenades in my... not grenades, but could be grenades. Tons of coal from upgrading furnaces. That can go away. I don't know what I'm going to do with a nuclear reactor worth of copper, but I'll find a way. Just you watch. I'll get rid of it somehow. But probably by building a nuclear reactor later. Yeah, I can do that in this game. Okay, now, where's my lake again? Because I'm disoriented from, like, going this here, this here, this here. Just get this stuff going and stuffing. I doubt I'm gonna need that much power, but that works, right? Okay. This is around the bottom, so it's gonna look funny, but I don't care. I just don't have the time to be a person who's caring in that way. It's frustrating in the early game, actually. Okay, and then these bricks need to go that far in order to make that raw material. And that work path is, unfortunately, it's no longer attractive. Okay, but, okay, that's gonna be concrete. Let's see, what else do I need to do fun things here? Okay. Boom. 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 Seriously? Already out? Doing pretty good on everything except for pipes. Need some of... okay. And get that going here. I mean, when it's hopping, you take advantage of it, because it's hopping. Okay, got that done. What are we missing? Gears. Because the minigun operation here. Okay. Things are just going to get held up on this assembly line, and that's natural. Unfortunately, at a certain point, you kind of have to just either make your own way by kicking it really hard and being like, I want this thing more. Or accept that you can't change it. So we're just about at a point where I'm going to be forced to visit those biters. And then I want to go down and hit those guys really, really hard. Because I'm pretty sure, based off of what I saw in map selection, that that would be a great idea. Just to do a quick visit. Let's see. We do have the derp science going. Yes. And then grenades. Okay. I'm feeling this. So we're going to get an assembly area going. Never underestimate biters' abilities to show up places and ruin your day. Okay, how much of that coal did I have from random natural sources? Because we can get 4 of those going too.